Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Christian Esguera and welcome po sa ating special Facts First episode ngayong araw, April 25, 2025. Ano ba yung pag-uusapan natin dito ngayon? Okay, alam niyo po, isa po sa mga talagang tinututukan natin ng mga issues ay ito po mga nangyayari sa Marawi. Okay? And baka nagkakalimutan tayo dahil nasa kasagsagan po tayo ng paghahanda para po sa paparating na May 12 midterm elections. Okay? Alam niyo po, no, kung naalala po ng marami sa atin, noong 2017, okay, nagkaroon po ng tinatawag na Marawi Siege diyan po sa syudad ng Marawi at ilang daang libo po yung na-displace. And of course, eventually, nagkaroon po ng batas noong 2022. Ito po yung tinatawag na Marawi Siege Victims Compensation Act. Kumbaga, bibigyan ng karampatang kompensasyon yung mga libo-libong mga pamilya na nawalan ng tahanan, eskwelahan, kabuhayan dahil dito po sa tinatawag na Marawi Siege kung saan ilang buwan po nakapagbakbakan yung mga tropa ng gobyerno laban po dito sa mga ISIS-inspired, ISIS-linked terrorists. Kumustahin natin, no? Ano na ba yung status nitong pagbibigay ng kompensasyon dito sa mga naging biktima ng Marawi Siege? At nabalitaan po natin, meron pong ilang agam-agam yung mga stakeholders patungkol po dito sa ongoing na implementation nitong batas. Kasi ang mga batas po, no, meron po silang tinatawag na implementing rules and regulations. Okay? Ito po yung pag-uusapan natin ngayong araw na ito. Dalawa po yung ating panauhin. Okay? Sila po ay mga taga-Marawi at gusto po nating makuha yung kanilang opinion dito po sa issues na lumulutang patungkol po rito sa ongoing implementation ng Marawi Siege Victims Compensation Act. Okay? Ang una po nating kasama ay si pakita na natin sila. Okay? Ayan. Okay, ang una po nating makakasama rito ay si Dr. Rola Dipatuan Dimaporo. Isa po siyang miyembro ng Marawi Reconstruction Conflict Watch. Magandang araw, Dr. Rola. And thank you for joining us dito po sa Facts First.
Hi. Hello, good morning, Christian.
Okay. Okay. Tapos kasama rin po natin na isa po sa mga claimants. Okay, dyan po sa Marawi. I'd like to welcome to our program si Dialine Matet Dakuan. Magandang araw po and thank you for joining us dito po sa Facts First.
Assalamualaikum. Magandang araw, Christian, at sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa inyong programa na Facts First. Hello
Okay,
po. Assalamualaikum.
Salamat po for joining us. No? Simulan po natin, ano na ba yung status nitong implementation ng Marawi Siege Victims Compensation Act? No? Siguro let's start with Doc Rola. Nasaan na ba tayo dito sa status sa implementation?
Yeah,
Doc
can
Rola.
I just start first? So again, good morning, Christian. Good morning, Mama Tet. It's nice to be with both of you this morning. And hello po sa lahat po ng viewers ni Sir Christian. So, back in April 3, 2025, nagsagawa po ng public consultation, no, ang Marawi Compensation Board tungkol dun sa mungkahing pagbabago sa implementing rules and regulation ng Marawi Compensation Law or your Republic Act 11696. And there's two major status that really bothers us kasi first dito yung hindi na yung MCB ang ahensyang magsasagawa ng proyekto na sasagot dun sa compensation ng mga ari-arian ng mga naapektuhan ng government projects under Malawi Rehabilitation ng TFBM. And the second one would be if more than 5 million ang iyong claim, staggered basis ang kanilang gagawin. And mas worse pa is hindi malinaw dun sa amendment, Christian, ano, kung sino ba talaga yung magbabayad na agency doon at paano sila babayaran. And karamihan dito is or rather maapektuhan ay yung mga public goods sector kagaya ng schools na for example yung pagmamay-ari ni Ma'am no, and the hospital.
Ayan, hello. Medyo nawala lang si Doc Rola. Hello?
Hmm.
Nandiyan pa ba si Doc Rola? Okay. Sige, punta muna tayo kay, kay Miss Daya, no? Dialina Matet, no? Kay Ma'am Matet. Kwento niyo po muna, no? Isa po kayo sa mga claimants, no? Ano ba yung mga napinsala? At ano po ba yung nararapat na mapunta sa inyo bilang isang claimant?
Hi again. Bali, isa po ako sa mga claimants talaga. Isa po ako sa mga IDPs at isa po tayo talaga sa tumutok para sa maipasa ang Marawi Compensation Bill. So, ang nangyari, Sir Christian, dagdagan ko na lang yung sinabi ni Doc Rola kasi medyo naputol siya. Yun na nga yung sinasabi niya na, kumbaga, pag more than 5 million na yung babayaran mo, magiging staggered basis ka na. Now, as on my part, kung titingnan natin, since the creation of the MCB, nasa 1,000 plus pa lang ang nababayaran nila na claimants for 2 years alone. Tapos kung titingnan din natin ang total na IDPs na nakasubmit sa kanila is nasa around 14,000. So with this amendment for the new amendment that was being conducted last April 3, more than 5,000 IDPs ang kumbaga maapektuhan nitong bagong changes na ginawa ng MCB. Isa na po tayo doon. Kasi ang pinaka-concern nila is lahat ng mga proyekto or lahat ng mga IDPs na ng MRRP or the Marawi Rehabilitation Project ay ibang agency na ang babayaran. Ang nasabi, ang narinig natin, ang babayad daw is ang National Housing Authority. Now, may mga kasamahan na tayo na mga IDPs na nag-submit kasi sabi nila, we have to do it all over again. So magsasubmit ka ulit sa NHA. Yung iba, just last week, nag-submit na doon kasi nga, ang gusto ng mga IDPs, Christian, is mabayaran agarang compensation para makabalik na sa kanilang mga bahay, sa kanilang mga tahanan. But sad to say, nasa post ng National Housing sa Marawi City is they are not receiving they are not receiving those documents because hindi pa siya finalized. Now, ang issue dito, Christian, why NHA? Ano ang kinalaman ng NHA sa compensation? Yes, nararapat lang naman na NHA ang babayad doon sa Marawi Rehabilitation, like for example, yung mga lupa na naapektuhan during the changes, during the rehabilitation of Marawi. Of course, that should be paid by the implementing agency. It's either by the DPWH kasi for the road widening, at saka NHA for some projects yung lupa, but not the buildings. Hindi yun babayaran ng National Housing, at hindi yun babayaran ng DPWH kasi wala silang mandato. Let us be clear that the Marawi Compensation Board was created solely to compensate the IDPs or the victims of the Marawi siege. Yun yung isa natin doon. So bakit nila ipapasa sa implementing agency? Isa sa mga katanungan namin, may budget na ba ang mga implementing agency? May IRR na ba? Since 2017 or since 2022, the creation of MCB, we have been waiting. Lahat ng mga IDPs nag-aantay. Kung naalala ninyo, a year ago, nagkaroon ng joint committee hearing sa Senate and the Congress, we were trying to ask or request our government na sana tanggalin nila yung fair market value. Yun yung isang concern ng mga IDPs kasi with the implementing of the fair market value, if your claim is around 10 million, sample lang natin do. Pag 10 million tapos nilagay mo sa fair market value with the depreciation, most probably, ang marireceive mo lang is nasa 4 million. Kasi because of the depreciation. So, okay. yun yung isang, yun yung isang matagal na naming hinihingi. So, when the amendment came, we thought all the while that this was it. Kumbaga, eto na siguro, tatanggalin na siguro nila yung fair market value. But sad to say, mas pinahirapan pa ang mga IDPs. Kumbaga, yung 5,000 na claimants, Christian, wala. Hindi nila alam. Hindi namin alam kung saan kami pupunta ngayon. Hindi namin alam kung saan kami magsasubmit ng documents. And
Okay.
nasaan na doon yung tinatawag natin na justice for the claimants?
Okay, bago natin na ipasok muli si Doc Rola, no? Para alam lang ng viewers natin, no? Kaya nawawala si Doc Rola. Pasensya na kayo, hindi magandang internet connection sa Marawi daw, no? Oo. Miss Matet, no? You are a school owner, tama po ba? At
Yes po.
magkano po ba yung claim ninyo? Ano po ba yung napinsala? Para familiar
Nako,
yung viewers
Christian.
natin.
Para familiar yung viewers natin, I have 4-story building na apat sila na tigpa 5 floors.
Mhm.
So amounting ko, ang nasa claim ko is nasa around 120 million yung nasira sa buong paaralan. Because my college is from elementary, kindergarten until college. So because of the fair market value, maabot na lang sa nasa 43 million yung magiging claim ko. So parang
Yun lang.
yun lang po yung maka-claim ko.
Yun ang in-approve.
Yun po yung in-approve. But then, na-hold siya. Kasi nga, I already had a notice of decision. Kumbaga, isa na ako sa mababayaran last month. Kumbaga, nung January. I'm supposed to be paid on January kasi may notice of decision na. Kaso, na-put on hold because of that.
Okay.
Because of yung proposed amendment. So you see, ganun yung kumbaga mahirap sa amin. We were been crying for the removal of the fair market value and the depreciation kasi hindi namin kaya yon, hindi na namin maibabalik kasi ang nandun sa compensation natin, Republic Act 11696 is just compensation, kumbaga. At saka, we were thinking na it should be on the current market value. But then, hindi po. Kasi kung kailan po pinatayo yung building ninyo, yun po yung rate na ibibigay sa iyo. So, wala na kami magawa doon. Sabi namin, okay lang, importante makapagsimula ulit tayo. But then, mas pinapahirapan ang mga IDPs ngayon.
Okay. Sige. Doc Rola, kumusta po? Check lang natin internet ninyo. Okay na?
Ayan, pasensya na po.
Okay lang po. No problem. Sige po. Doc Rola, in the first place, ano ba yung nadidinig nyo? Ano ba yung nabanggit kung bakit daw merong dalawang proposed amendments dito sa implementing rules and regulations?
Yeah, well, what we heard is that it's supposed to expedite the process of the compensation. Yun yung pinaka-thought daw nila dun sa paglagay ng budget or pagpapadaan ng mga budget sa other agencies. But then, Christian, if you remember, there was Task Force Bangon Marawi before, no?
Yes.
We already did that kind of parang scheme, kung baga, parang that model that we already did that, and I don't know if we can call it a success kasi even after years of them being there, and it's parang a multi-agency effort, wala ring nangyari. And now that we have this Marawi Compensation Act that is supposed to compensate the people, no, who have claims after the siege, biglang babalik na naman tayo doon. So we really think our position in the Marawi Reconstruction Conflict Watch is parang bumalik lang tayo doon sa problema natin before, no. We are really trying to parang babawiin natin yung hard-won na victory ng ating mga Marawi IDPs because of this proposed amendments.
Sino ba yung nagsusulong? When you say nila, sino ba yung nagsusulong nitong amendments na ito?
It's the Marawi Compensation Board. That's
Sila
what's
mismo.
very surprising, no? Na parang, kumbaga, while ang dapat sana nilang gawin is they should stand firm on their commitment, on their focus, on their mandate, bigla na lang nagulat kami na instead of doing that and expediting the process themselves because they are the agency who has that mandate to compensate people, eh biglang dadalhin sa ibang agency and hindi pa po clear kung who will pay who, how much will they pay, and we also have these other issues kagaya nung mga depreciated values and all of that. So definitely itong amendments sa IRR, the proposed amendments rather, will bring us maybe 100 steps back, if I may say so, sa kung ano man yung na-achieve na natin. We really don't think that it will bring about fast tracking of the processes. Rather, it will really cause further delay. Kagaya nga po nitong si Mamatet, dapat pabayaran na, imagine, I think it's just approximately a third of her claims, eh biglang hindi mo pa ibibigay. Talagang masakit po ito for the IDPs.
Okay,
If
kay
I may
ano?
just add, Sir
Sige po,
Christian,
sige po.
kasi before, at a year ago, nung nagre-require kami or nagre-request kami for the removal of the fair market value and put it into replacement cost, ang sagot sa amin ng MCB is that we cannot amend the IRR or the law unless Senate or the Congress will do from the Congress. So nung sinabi namin to, or dinala namin to last week, we had a meeting with Congressman Zia Adyong, and then Kong Zia was surprised also. He didn't know about it. So kumbaga, may capacity pala ang MCB to amend. Bakit hindi na lang nila in-amend ng replacement cost? If they really have that heart for the IDPs.
Ibig sabihin,
So-
this was not the amendments that you wanted or expecting. Pero pwede
Yeah.
pala lang gawin.
Kaya pwede pala nilang gawin, bakit iba ang ginawa nilang amendment? Mas nagpahirap pa sa mga IDPs.
Final na ba ito sa pagkakaalam ninyo? Itong changes?
No, we hope not. We hope not. Kasi Christian, if you remember, if you recall, there was a Senate hearing back then na sinabi po ng ating mga senador, kagaya nila Senator Cayetano, na ang ibigay na lang sa mga IDPs, I don't know if Mama Tet also remembers, is yung current market value pa nga. Ang sabi nila, okay, kami nang bahalang maghanap ng pera. Ang gagawin nyo lang is i-amend natin, mag-propose kayo ng amendment dyan wherein tanggalin na yung fair market value, ilagay nyo na yan, current market value. Kasi bakit nga naman hindi? Why not? So kami na yung bahalang maghanap ng pondo, just do that. So that's correct. This is not the amendment that we were hoping for. Tapos ngayon ay nabulaga na lang ang ating mga IDPs na instead na yung sinuggest ng ating mga senators and congressmen, I remember it was a bicameral hearing pala, no?
Joint committee hearing.
Joint committee, right, rather. Biglang naging ganito yung amendment na ipapadaan sa ibang agency. So, I don't know, Christian, it sounds insane, but this is what is happening now, and we are really hoping this is not final. We are aware na hindi pa po ito approved or anything, fina-finalize pa lang nila, but definitely on our part we will really oppose this amendment po.
Kay Miss Matet, no? Nagkaroon na ba kayo ng dialogue dito sa Marawi Compensation Board to raise your concerns?
Yeah, actually, we had that during the April 3. But then, ang nakakatawa nga dito, Sir Christian, is that sabi nila consultation. So when we raised the issues, ni isa walang sinagot. Kasi ang sabi lang, okay, we will take this into consideration, but then no answer from the MCB board members. Now, the other day, I was just informed by some of our friends inside the MCB na wala na tayong magagawa kasi parang approved na siya according to the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Marawi Rehabilitation, the newly created office. So parang approved na siya, Christian, in which yun yung nakakatakot kasi isa sa request namin kay Kong Zia was to put this amendment into abeyance. Kasi nga, hindi pa makakatawag ngayon si Kong Zia ng hearing or inquiry kasi because of the incoming election. So ang sabi niya sa amin is that magkakaroon tayo, I will try to contact every office para at least ma-put into abeyance muna. Pero hindi natin yun pwedeng asahan, kaya nga ang saya ko nang marinig na matutuloy itong interview natin para at least aware ang mga tao, aware ang ating mga officials kung ano talaga yung nangyayari. Kasi they thought all the while, ang akala ng mga kababayan natin, ang akala ng mga senators, mga officials natin, that with the creation of the MCB, tapos na ang problema ng mga IDPs. Hindi po totoo yun. Fake news po yun. Kasi ang dami pa pong IDPs na hindi nababayaran, ang dami pa pong IDPs na naghihirap at hindi pa rin po nakakabalik sa kanilang mga tahanan. Yun talaga yung isang gusto nating iparating na sana actionan ito at wag na nilang dagdagan or wag na nilang i-implement itong bagong amendment kasi mas lalong magpapahirap lang ito sa aming mga IDPs.
Mas babagal po ba yung proseso pag na-implement ito? And actually, sa pool ba kayo mismo rito sa dalawang amendments na proposed? Example, dahil sabi nyo, ang claim nyo dapat nasa 120 million pero approved nasa 43. And nakalagay dito, pag more than 5 million staggered yung payment, tama? So, tatamaan kayo dito.
Nakakatawa ba yung yung stagger, yung amendment nila dyan? Kasi, kumbaga, the decision of the board will be, they would have the discretionary kung ilang taon kanila babayaran or how length or how much are they going to give you. Kasi wala pang rubrics, walang criteria, wala silang binigay na clear mandate kung magkano, if it's going to be after a month, you'll be receiving your 20%, then next year you'll be receiving your 20%. Hindi namin alam, masyadong malabo. Kumbaga, wala talagang kumbaga masasabi na para yung amendment na yan ay para sa mga IDPs. Hindi kasi namin maintindihan kung walang budget ba ang gobyerno, pero ang sabi naman ng ating DBM, ready naman na magbigay ang DBM kasi para yan sa ating mga kababayan na nasalanta ng Marawi siege. Kumbaga, it's just a matter of requesting to the DBM. And yun na nga, yung suporta ng ating mga congressman at ating mga senators ay nasa kapakanan ng mga IDPs. Hindi namin alam bakit ang MCB ay nagpapahirap sa mga IDPs.
Okay. Doc Rolla, as far as you know, ano ba yung reason bakit mukhang hindi ganun kabilis yung pagre-release ng compensation? Nabanggit mo, nasa 14,000 yata, ano? Yung approved claims, pero ang i-release pa lang ay para sa nasaan? Mga 1,000 mahigit.
Yeah, like 1,052 out of 14,495. No?
Bakit mabagal?
Kasi po nung una, well, we do understand, arrange pa siguro sila sa kanilang opisina, they're new, no? So medyo slow doon. They were trying to get their footing and we understand that. So yun yung reason nila. Second was yung intake nila, it took ang dami nilang kailangan i-sort out na mga claims, no? And then they divided themselves into 3 divisions, if I'm correct. And itong divisions na ito, parang hati-hati sila, no? Hati-hati sila ng mga claims. And every single division, parang within their discretion din, how they're going to go about the process of adjudication. They're going to do their clarificatory meetings. And then after clarificatory meetings, it will take another few to several months. Hindi natin po alam. Yun po yung mahirap, Christian, ano? Kasi wala po silang binibigay talaga na timeline kung ilang buwan ba dapat yung papel mo nandyan sa kanilang mga table, ano? So that's been very unclear since day one. Hindi po alam ng mga tao. So dun pa lang they're free to I don't know kung intentional ba yung delay, pero ang sabi nila it's the adjudication process, yung pag-ocular, like I said, clarificatory meetings. So all of those things are delaying. And then when you ask them, ultimately, what they will tell you is that DBM daw yung mabagal. So, of course, tayo naman ay, medyo nagtatanong din, sa mga kakilala natin ng, although unofficial, but they said, no, DBM is actually trying their very best na hindi yan magtagal sa kanila. So it's really more of a back and forth. Kanino ba talaga? It's very unclear, but definitely as per the IDP's experience, kagaya po ni Mama Tet, I think she can attest to that, na ang tagal po nung time from nag-apply ka for compensation to your clarificatory meeting to the ocular inspection, and then finally kung ma-approve ka ba or hindi. One example I can give you is that there are claims filed in August of 2023, and hanggang ngayon po ay hindi pa po sila na ocular. This is August 2023 was just the second month, no, after nila po ng intake, no? Nang July sila nag-start ng intake, August, no, yung pangalawang buwan. So 2023 pa po yun, and hanggang ngayon hindi pa po sila na ocular inspection. So just from that, Christian, I think you can see that, no? I don't think it's about the money, because I don't know if people know it, but this year the MCB has 5.3 billion budget for this year. 1 billion from the regular budget, 2 billion galing sa unprogrammed funds for 2025, and another 2.3 billion from the unprogrammed funds noong 2024. Again, total of 5.3 billion. So I don't think it's really a money issue din. So hindi po talaga namin maintindihan bakit instead of expediting the process na ibigay na lang ito sa ating mga IDPs, dahil yun naman talaga yung nararapat para sa kanila, ay papadaanin pa sa iba't ibang agency at kung ano-ano pa yung mga ginagawang mechanism dito na para staggered basis and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. Bilang panghuli, ano pong mensahe ninyo, Miss Matet, dito sa mga nag-i-implement?
Ako naman, ang masasabi ko lang naman sa MCB is sana magkaroon sila ng puso para sa mga IDPs. Ang liit ng mensahe ko, puso para sa mga IDPs. Kasi kung may puso ka, alam mo at ramdam mo kung ano yung mga pinaghihirapan ng mga IDPs. Sa ating Congress, nananawagan ako kay Kong Zia, kay Kong Balindong, na sana iparating at sana aksyonan nila ang nangyayaring ito sa mga IDPs na apektado sa Marawi. At saka nananawagan din ako sa ating mga senators na sana tingnan nila at ipatawag nila ang MCB, pakinggan nila. Siguro kailangan nito is a joint committee or a group talk with NHA, DPWH, OPMR, and together with some of the stakeholders para doon harap-harapan na nilang masagot yung mga katanungan ng mga IDPs. And I am hoping MCB to put into abeyance itong bagong amendment na ginagawa ninyo. Pakinggan nyo kung ano ang gusto ng mga IDPs. I-consider ninyo kung ano ang nararamdaman ng mga IDPs bago nyo i-implement yung sinasabing amendment na ginawa ninyo. Kasi it's nothing about us without us kung hindi kami kino-consider ng mga IDPs. Yun lang po, Sir Christian.
Okay, Miss Matet Dacuon, maraming salamat po sa inyo. And of course, si Dr. Rola Dipatuan Dimoporo, maraming salamat po for joining us ngayong araw dito po sa Facts First. Magandang araw po sa inyo.
Thank you, Christian, for having us. Thank you for listening to us.
Sige po. Ayan po. Dalawang panauhin po natin. No? And I hope naliwanagan po tayo dito sa issues na ating inilahad patungkol po dito sa mga problema, patungkol po dito sa compensation ng mga Marawi victims. Okay? Let's see kung ano po yung magiging tugon dito ng ating mga karampatang government agencies. Of course, in particular, ito po nga Marawi Compensation Board. In the meantime, ako po si Christian Esguera. Maraming salamat po for joining us. Ito po sa special episode ng ating Facts First podcast. Magandang araw po.